I came here initially, my law enforcement career began with the Wash County Sheriff's Office. I started as a reserve deputy, which is a volunteer position. And then I was eventually hired to be a full-time deputy, originally slated to work in the jail. However, I had applied for the Sparks Police Department about the same time, and really where I wanted to be is out on the streets, serving the public there. I'm always grateful to the Sheriff's Office for giving me that start in law enforcement. Many times that first step is difficult to make, but I'm always grateful to them for that. But I came here in August of 1994, started where everyone does, working in patrol and answering calls for service and serving my community. I've been very, very fortunate to hold a number of roles throughout my career as a patrolman, a sergeant, a lieutenant, a deputy chief, and now as the chief. I've run our domestic violence response team. I've been a part of our SWAT team for 13 years. I just have been very fortunate to hold all the positions that I've had. It truly has been a privilege. There are always difficult moments in this line of work, but I think for me, when you get the opportunity to help someone through something, I've had a couple of calls that stand out. One was I was sent to a domestic violence situation. We made an arrest on the husband. A few months later, I was patrolling that neighborhood, and I had someone wave me down. And it, as a matter of fact, was that gentleman who actually thanked me for making that arrest. He and his wife were still together. He had sought some counseling and dealt with some of his personal issues, but that's rewarding. You know, when you hope that you treat people the right way, and sometimes you get a solution like that where someone actually waves you down and says, "Hey, thank you for doing that." It sort of is a head scratcher from time to time, but it is a very rewarding thing if you can get someone to say that to you. Our department motto is honor, pride, privilege, and truly it has been a privilege for me to serve the citizens of Sparks in all of the roles that I have been privileged to hold. It's been very, very, very good to me for 26 years, for over 26 years, and I'm grateful for all of it. I think right now, as we sit here today, one of the difficulties is relationships with the community. There are obviously, in the time of post-George Floyd and other incidents that have, captured the nation's attention, dealing with the reform issues that do need to take place, doing them in a logical manner, doing them in a professional fashion, and maintaining a good relationship with our community is of utmost importance. We have been very fortunate. You cannot police a community without a good relationship with your citizens. We've been very fortunate to be a part of groups, some interfaith groups and some various citizens groups that we've had that open line of communication prior to what I would call strained relationships. There's tensions on both sides, there's concerns on both sides, and they're all legitimate. But you have to have that relationship beforehand, or it's extraordinarily difficult to form it during a time of crisis. We've been blessed to have those relationships before, during, and after. It helps make the reforms and the conversations about them much easier to have. Really the biggest thing, my wife is currently working on her master's degree. So my first job will be to help out around the house so she doesn't have to worry about some of those things, so she can concentrate on her studies. You know, there's a lot that we see and do through the course of a law enforcement career. So my goal really is to get physically and mentally healthy, refresh myself a little bit, play some golf, do some skiing, enjoy the Northern Nevada outdoors, which we're so blessed to have. And then somewhere around March or April of next year, really start taking a look at what comes next. I know that, there will be opportunities, and I'll just look to evaluate those as they come toward me, and go from there. So the city of Sparks is truly a special place. Mm-hmm. Sorry about that. Mm-hmm. The city is truly a special place, and it's definitely been a privilege to be here.